Everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brad Lone Wolf, and today's going to be kind of a follow-on from last week's video, where I was discussing different types of stoves. Now, complete disclosure, it is literally 2 minutes after I finished filming the last video, so I'm still in my garden, nothing's changed. This is literally just a carry on from the other video, and hopefully it's not going to be as long as the other video as well. So today's video, I'm going to be looking at different types of pots on the market and different types of stoves and their the pots and their advantages and disadvantages. Now I've got 3 examples here that I'm going to show you. Now they're all made out of aluminium, and they all have their own, as usual, their own advantages and disadvantages. Now, to begin with, as I say, all my pots here are aluminium. You can also get steel pots and titanium pots. The reason that you can now get steel pots and titanium pots, and people are actually going back to them, is there is evidence that boiling water in aluminium for a long period of time, or drinking water that's been boiled in aluminium pots for a long period of time, can lead to medical issues further down the line. Now, I'm not saying it does, I'm not saying it doesn't, but there is some evidence, which is why people are going back to the steel pots and the titanium pots. So that's just something to be aware of when you're looking at different camping pots, is how many times a year are you going to use it, and do you want to take that risk? Again, I'm not saying stop using aluminium pots. I'm just saying it's something you need to be aware of. With that being said, let's have a look at different pots that I've got and talk about their advantages and disadvantages. So the first set, box standard mess tins, military mess tins. You've probably seen these, you've probably used these. No frills, nice and basic. Got a handle, a riveted handle that goes over the top. They pack up within themselves, and if you pack it right, you can actually get a couple of MREs in there as well, a couple of meals packed inside them, within that, to take up, so it takes up less space. You can use the bigger one, the bigger mess tin, as a lid for the smaller mess tin. You can also preheat some water in the top mess tin if you need to. Disadvantage to these, however, if you're using the normal Hexi stove that they normally come with, then they're nice and low down, they're nice and stable. However, if you use a stove like that, you can already see it gets quite high and becomes a little bit unstable. Also, given the size of them, they do overhang that particular stove. they do overhang quite a way, so again, adds to the instability. On the other hand, we use a Moonlander style of stove. They tend to be a little bit more stable. So again, just something to consider. That's why I prefer these type of gas stoves. Moving on, this is a new set of pots, or a new pot that I bought myself. I think it was £10 from Amazon again. Nice and basic, one person pot. You've got your top there, which doubles as a mug. Also doubles as the lid. Then you've got the pot itself. Inside the pot, I don't know if you can see that, but inside the pot there are markings telling you how full or how much you put in there, how much water you put in there. It only goes up to 800 millilitres, doesn't go up to a full litre. Obviously, with the pot being that size, it's big enough to store a couple of meals in, and certainly the smaller of the two gas stoves, maybe even the alcohol burning stoves that I've shown you. Disadvantage to this one, again, it does stack high. Even on the Moonlander style, it does stack high. It's still fairly stable, but it does stack high, so again, something to be aware of. Put it on that one though, and you can see how high it is. It actually more or less doubles the height. Yeah, more or less doubles the height, so again, just something to be aware of. Okay, obviously those pots that I've just shown you are suitable for one person if you're out on your own. What if you're going out with a couple of people though? That's where something like this comes in. Now this is a two-person set. Again, aluminium, comes in its own little bag. Also comes with a couple of mugs as well. Now, obviously in there you've got enough to not only cook for two people, but also enough to boil water for a couple of people for cups of tea as well. It is big enough and needs to clean as well, actually. The advantage to this one, like I say, is obviously there's enough there for two people. The disadvantage is kind of the bulk of the thing, but if two people are going, you're going to need that extra size for cooking for two people anyway, so kind of swings and roundabouts. With the frying pan, some people will actually ditch the frying pan because they don't see the point in it. Kind of swings and roundabouts for myself, if I'm honest. If it were me, even if I was taking it for two people and wanted to lighten the load, personally, I would get rid of the lids and the frying pan. If I was boiling water, I'd just do that. If I really wanted to make cooking quicker and more efficient, which let's face it, we all want to, I'd take the secondary lid. That way, all packs up nice and neatly. I will admit, handles like this on any set, on any stove set, they are useful, but they're also slightly useless, in that they are great because they're already attached to the stove, so you're not going to lose them, but they are made of metal and rubber, so you can end up with the rubber melting and with the metal heating up. Again, it's not always going to happen, it's just something to be aware of. Obviously, if you were to get a Trangia stove, an actual Trangia stove, they come with the pots anyway, so you don't have to think about getting a separate set of pots. But again, they are bulky, they are designed for several people. There are obviously other options on the market. I've already mentioned titanium and stainless steel. Stainless steel is obviously heavier. Titanium ones are lighter but more expensive. You get whatever pots you feel work best for you. I'm just giving you an overview with this video. With that being said, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.